Many thanks for joining us on the newsroom. I am Annetta Felix. Fire has broken out at the rooftop of the World Trade Center in Abuja. An official of the company managing the facility, Ibukun Adeosun, explains that the fire occurred at about 11:30 a.m. At least 3 fire service trucks were deployed to contain the fire, but Adeosun says no lives or property were destroyed. Men of the Ogun State Police Command have arrested a 24-year-old man identified as Badmus Folari for burning the buttocks of a 10-year-old boy. Folari allegedly used a hot knife to burn the boy named Sunday David for allegedly leaking a beverage which belonged to his mother. The State Police Public Relations Officer Abimbola Oyeyemi disclosed this on Sunday, explaining that the suspect was arrested for inflicting second-degree injury on the boy. Unknown gunmen have killed 3 persons and abducted 2 others in some communities at Dosinma local government area of Katsina State. According to eyewitnesses, the gunmen attacked the town on Saturday night, shooting sporadically and injuring many people. In another attack on Sunday, the bandits stormed Kofi town, abducting 2 young women. The police is, however, yet to confirm the 2 incidents. The federal government has arraigned 10 alleged pirates for the hijacking of a fishing vessel belonging to Haina Fishing Company. The defendants, said to be resident in Nigeria, were arraigned on 3 counts before Justice Ayokunle Faji at the Federal High Court in Lagos. The prosecuting counsel for the federal government, Labaran Magaji, said the defendants committed the offense in May 2020 on the international water at Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. When the charges were read to them, the defendants, however, pleaded not guilty. A federal high court in Abuja has ruled that the Nigerian army has no power to declare any citizen wanted. Justice Ijoma Ojugu said this while delivering the ruling in a case between one Issa Brima, a Nigerian activist in diaspora, and the Nigerian army. In January 2019, the army declared Brima wanted for reportedly raising funds for troops and vigilante fighting Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast. But the army described his actions as fraudulent and said he embarked on the venture to defraud unsuspecting members of the public. Following the declaration, Brima filed a suit against the army for alleged defamation. Delivering the ruling, Ojuku held that the army has no right to declare the plaintiff wanted without making a formal report to law enforcement agencies who enforce law and order. Legal practitioner Malaki Ugumadu has been reacting to the refusal of the Chief Justice of Ondo State to set up a probe panel for the Deputy Governor, Agbola Ajayi. Given reasons for rejecting the Assembly's request, Justice Olariwaju Okeredolu said the House had not completed the constitutional process that will make her grant the request. Speaking on TV360's flagship program, the G360, Ogumadu proposed that the Nigeria Judicial Council step in and resolve the situation.
What can happen is, like I said, it could be reported to the National Judicial Council, or alternatively, they can go to court. Don't forget, she has cited that there has been a suit in this matter, in respect of which there was probably, I'm not too sure, an order, a restraining order, an injunction, or whatever it is. But I'm saying, with respect to this decision that she has taken, which is very interesting, which is very novel, either party can decide to approach the court, once again, to determine what she is supposed to do in that instance, whether or not she is at liberty to decline the request made by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, knowing fully well that without the composition of that panel, mark you, it is not the members of the House of Assembly that conduct the investigation. It is a 7-man panel constituted by the judge, the chief judge of the state, that undertakes that exercise. It is the report they make to the House that becomes the oxygen, that becomes the product, the raw material with which they deliberate. And it is largely based on the recommendation and the findings of that panel. That the proceeding of that panel and the determination of that panel is what the Constitution is saying cannot be a subject of litigation.
We'll take a break here and we'll be right back. To stay with us.
Trade is a force for good. I've seen it with my own eyes. Its ability to improve millions and millions of lives. I spent my life working with teams around the world to deliver reforms, broker agreements, improve systems, fight corruption, and empower economies. Coronavirus has changed the face of the global economy and left many countries facing difficult choices. This is a critical moment for world trade, and the WTO has a vital role to play. It's time to come together. It's time for the WTO to listen to its members, seek common ground, hunt for solutions, rebuild trust, and return to its founding mission. My name is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and I'm the woman for this job. I want to bring a fresh pair of eyes and ears to the WTO and make it fit to thrive for the 21st century.
The Kwara State branch of the Nigeria Medical Association has advised Nigerians against visiting hospitals to minimize the spread of COVID-19. NMA Chairman Kolade Solabiru disclosed this while briefing newsmen on Monday in Ilorin, adding that 35 doctors had so far tested positive for COVID-19 in Kwara. He however noted that the association has not recorded any casualty among its members. He also cautioned residents to disregard the belief that COVID-19 was not real and was only a money-making avenue for the government. Nigeria on Sunday reported 571 new cases of COVID-19 with 343 more recoveries. This is according to the latest figure released on Sunday night in a tweet by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. The NCDC noted that the new cases of COVID-19 were reported in 19 states in the country, as well as the Federal Capital Territory. The new figures now take the country's infections from the virus to 32,558, with 704 deaths and 13,447 persons discharged. An Air Peace airline flight deployed to evacuate stranded Nigerians in the UK has been denied landing rights. According to a statement released by the Nigeria High Commission in London on Sunday, the evacuation flights from London Heathrow to Abuja and Lagos will now depart on Tuesday, July 14th. The flights will depart from Gatwick Airport aboard an air partner flight. The federal government has been airlifting nationals stranded in different countries across the world back home, after several countries imposed travel restrictions to curb the spread of COVID-19. Nigeria's former Finance Minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has advised governments across the world to be more transparent and accountable amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The ex-World Bank director stated this in a piece titled "To Beat COVID-19, Governments Need to Open Up," published in Bloomberg. In the article, Okonjo-Iweala observed that many countries are battling corruption in the procurement of medical supplies, including personal protective equipment, stressing that government should publish all tenders and all contracts, and companies receiving funds should not be autonomous. She also tasked government officials against corruption, noting that while she served as finance minister, she worked hard to open up information and tackle corruption, saving billions of dollars that were channeled to other priorities. Let's take a break here and we'll be right back. To stay with us. Many Nigerians believe that rising inflation would lead to a weaker economy. This is according to a survey by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Statistics Department of the CBN disclosed this in its second quarter 2020 Inflation Attitude Survey report. According to the CBN, the survey was conducted from May 18th to May 27th, 2020, with a sample size of 2,070 households randomly selected from 207 enumeration areas across the country and a response rate of 97.9%. The report said respondents believe that the economy would end up weaker if prices start to rise faster than they do now. Former Somali Prime Minister Hassan Abshi Farah has died at the age of 75. Farah died in Ankara, the Turkish capital, where he was receiving medical treatment on Saturday. He served as Prime Minister under interim President Abdul Qasim Hassan between 2001 and 2003. He was also the mayor of the capital, Mogadishu, in the 1970s. The government has formed a committee to organize a state funeral for him, but no date has been set. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has repeated that he will spend no longer than 4 more years with the club. Earlier this season, Klopp, who has guided the Merseyside Giants to their first top-flight crown in 30 years, extended his contract at Anfield until 2024. Although the door remains open for that deal to be extended, Klopp insists that he is determined to return to Germany in 4 years' time. The 53-year-old has also revealed plans to have a year away from football during the 2004 to 2005 campaign. And that's it on News Now at this time. Thank you for watching.